All right, this video is going to show you how to present your work in Edulastic for a molar mass problem where we're calculating the molar mass of a chemical. All right, in this case, they're asking you what is the molar mass of carbon dioxide. Now, you may or may not know how to do this at this point in the course, but it's not about figuring that out. We're going to show you how to do that. We're going to give you the answer. So this is about how to put the work into Edulastic. So here's the answer. For carbon, you're going to look up the atomic weight or average atomic mass of carbon, which from the periodic table is 12.011, and multiply it times 1. Why 1? Because there's only one carbon in carbon dioxide. Then you're going to take the mass of oxygen, which is 15.9994, and double it. Why double it? Because of this 2 here. There's 2 oxygens in carbon dioxide. The di means 2. When you do that, you get 31.9988. Then you have to add them up. So you draw a line, which indicates you're adding things up. And then when you add them up on your calculator, you get 44.0098. And we need to round that to 5 significant figures. So it becomes 44.010 grams per mole. Now, notice how this is laid out nice and neat. When you're putting work in Edulastic, you want to make it easier for the teacher to give you points. And the more organized, the more structured it is, the easier it is for the teacher to look at that and say, yes, that's the right answer, and they deserve full credit. Notice the average atomic masses are lined up on top of each other. The number of atoms in the molecules lined up, the subtotals are lined up, and just so you can see, you can just add it right up. The line is underneath here. And you have the right answer, and then your rounded answer, and then the grams per mole. Okay. So let's go show how you would put this work in it. Now, this is a little bit different than the other problems you had because we can work right off the keyboard. So click your cursor here where you want the answer to appear, and let's just start typing in the answer. So we're going to start with, we're going to type in a C for carbon, to show that our first line is calculating carbon and the molar mass is 12.011. So we'll take a capital C and then we'll throw in 3 spaces. Then we put 12.011, hit the space bar twice, hit the time sign, hit the space bar twice, then type in the number of atoms is 1. Hit the space bar twice, press an equals, hit the space bar twice, then put the subtotal 12.011. Right, now remember, we want this to line up when we're done, so we might end up moving these around before we finally submit it. So let's hit the return key to bring us to the second line. And now we'll type a capital O for oxygen, hit the space bar several times, and then put 15.9994. All right, just in case you forgot, I'm getting these numbers right from this answer here, 15.9994. I'm going to double that to get 31.998. So let's put that in. So times 2 equals 31.9988. Now, remember what I said about lining things up? These don't line up exactly. So I'm going to put the cursor right here and hit a couple of space bars until these decimal points line up. Then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to hit the space bar until, whoops, too far, go back 1. Now the time signs line up, and so do the numbers of atoms. Now this doesn't line up correctly. So I'm going to put the space bar here and type, put the cursor there and type the space bar once. So, okay, now it looks good. The decimal points look like they're lined up. Okay. Now, I'm going to put my cursor at the end of the 8, then I'm going to hit return. And then now I want to show a line. So there is a underline space on the keyboard. So I'll move here and then I'll type in an underline right here. Then I'll type in the return again to drop it down. And now I'm going to hit the space bar till I get over, and I'm going to type in the answer down here. Now remember, the first answer was 44.0098. All right, then I wanted to show that we rounded it, so I'll hit the space bar twice and put it equals. Hit the space bar twice, and I put the rounded answer, 44.010. Now I'm not done yet because the answer is not just 44.010, it's 44.010 grams per mole of carbon dioxide. So now I need the equation bar. So like we did in some previous problems, now you're looking for the square root. Notice it's not here, but if I click on the A, then it appears. I'm looking for the square root with an X underneath. So when I press that, then I can pick what looks like a fraction, which would be this right here. So now I can type in the grams, a small g, and then I could type in mole, M-O-L, and now I could type in OK. And now I've got my proper units in there, grams per mole. One more piece is I need the formula for the chemical. So carbon dioxide is capital C, capital O, and now I need a subscript. This is the subscript. So I hit the subscript and then type 2. Now I've got the right answer. All the work lays out. It's laid on top of each other. All right, we're good to go. Now, but before you finish, you need to submit this. So hit the submit bar. Then you have to hit the submit bar again because Edulastic brings you to this screen that enables you to review your work before your final submission. So when you click here in the final submission, all right, you should be all set.